everyone, and welcome back to the current edition of Sippin' with Stephen. Got a treat for you today. I have a neighbor and friend, John Wadell from Kentucky Peerless. Welcome, John.
Thank you, Steve.
And John's got a whole lot of titles. He is the person that curates their single barrel program. He's the master taster, the master blender. Am I missing anything else, John? Jack of all trades?
Jack of all trades. No, we all do a little bit of everything down there.
He is the person that puts this wonderful product out that you get to taste with Kentucky Peerless. Before we get started and let you talk a little bit about what goes on tour-wise and product-wise, I just want to make sure people know that you are located at 10th and Main, about a block away from the Frazier.
Right up that way.
Great place to start, and a lot of tours that have to do with history. I'll turn this over to you as you are a person on your bourbon journey. What is it that, besides the product, which we'll talk about, that sets Peerless aside as a tourism destination to learn about bourbon?
Well, you know, we're family owned, so we're owned by the fourth and fifth generation, Corky and Carson Taylor. But the great thing is when you come down there to do a tour, that's also our production facility. So there's no other place to go. We cook there, we distill there.
You're actually a distillery.
Yes, yeah, and we have a rick house on site that holds about 1,200 barrels. So you really get to see where all the magic happens. And no matter what you get from us, it came right from that building down there. We don't source anything.
What I love about it too is your tasting area is spectacular. The presentation of and in fact, I've been to a couple events, seen you behind the bar. I see the magic that you do and the love you put into that product, and it is really cool.
Thank you.
So one of the things, as we see all these great bottles out here, you all make both bourbon and rye whiskey, correct?
Correct.
And everything from toasted to double oak to single barrel, small batch, all kinds of good stuff. And we're going to go into some of these different products. But when people come in, one thing that I like, and you can clarify this, is that so many bourbons out there do sour mash. You all do sweet mash.
Strictly sweet mash.
And could you educate the viewers as to what makes that special?
Yeah, so sweet mash basically means we're not keeping any of the back set off at distillation and putting it back in our cooker, kind of like a sour mash would, like a starter. So we're starting fresh every time. We're using fresh grains, fresh water, first generation yeast. So we do a lot of cleaning down there, really. I always tell people I feel like we clean more than we actually produce because we only make 10 to 12 barrels a day, roughly about 2,700 barrels a year. We don't run 24 hours and we don't do production on the weekends, which is why also we're kosher. Everything we do is kosher. We have the bourbon rabbi come down, does his blessing, checks everything out.
Fantastic.
And that's a nod to Corky's great-grandfather, who was Jewish as well. So we put a lot into our craft, and we like using the best grains and the best water.
Well, what I love too is that I wouldn't say every bottle, but every barrel is unique. Starting fresh every day. No two bottles of Peerless, unless you get them from the same barrel, are going to be exactly the same, and I find that fantastic.
You know, with the sweet mash, I always tell people, sweet versus sour mash. A good way is sour mash, you're tasting history. Sweet mash, you're tasting that present day with us, right? Because with using a sweet mash, every fermentation, every distillation is going to shine through.
Awesome. Now, as we're looking at these products, there's one product that truth be told, you told me this ahead of time, but there is a big event coming in April.
Yes, yes.
Tell our viewers what is going to be. It's about an aged product that you all are going to be having for the first time.
So, you know, we laid down our first barrel in March of 2015. This year, April 22nd, Henry Creer's birthday, we have our first age statement product coming out. It's going to be a 10-year-old bourbon small batch. It'll be a one-time year release. Not sure how many barrels we're going to use for that. You know, we always like to say we do everything off our palate. So it could be anywhere between 25, 36 barrels that we're going to use for this batch. And we're just super excited. I remember when we didn't have any product.
Sure.
And now we're talking about a 10-year-old we're about to release.
My friend, I got a feeling that on that date, there is going to be a whole lot of people on 10th Street.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we'll release it at the distillery. You can come down. We're open from 10 to 5, but we look forward to seeing everyone and all the familiar faces that's been there for some of our other releases. So Corky, trying to keep him calm right now, you know, it's something else.
Trying to keep me calm. Now, when I look at all these expressions, and I've had all of them except for one, and my eyebrows started going up, this one on the end, a cognac finish. You were kind enough, we're going to talk a little bit about that. You're going to tell me and the viewers why that is so special and unique, and that it is available at the distillery.
Correct, it is. You know, this is a first ever batch that we've done this. It was about a 2-year-long finish we did in these rum barrels. You know, we had to export them over from Europe. And like I said, they spent about 2 years, and it's just really unique. This is one of the longest finishes we've done. And you'll notice just off the nose, it's just, you can pick up every bit of that cognac in the nose.
Oh, that is so nice. Okay. And you know, finished bourbons are the big thing these days, but it needs to be what makes it unique. So let's, in the spirit of Sippin' with Stephen tradition, we're going to raise our glass to Kentucky Peerless, to the Frazier, and we're going to go over just a little bit about this. So let's have a sip.
Yeah, we imported these from France. They're
Oh
fantastic.
my goodness.
You get every bit of that bourbon essence
Yep.
with that little kiss of cognac in there.
Absolutely. And what is the proof on this one, John?
So this one's going to be 112.1 proof right here.
Nice.
Beautiful. Like I said, we refilled the barrels. Don't know when we'll do the next release of it, but we do have plenty enough this down at the distillery and a little bit sprinkled out.
So
in the
keep
market.
that in mind. Folks, we've raised our glasses. This is fantastic. If you get to Kentucky Peerless, sample and or purchase the cognac finish. To all our viewers out there, John, thank you so much for being part of this.
Thanks for having me.
And cheers. That is spectacular.